Hello students. Today's lesson will be a little different than the others. It won't be a conversational video but a sightseeing video. I will introduce you to one of my favorite cities, London, and its main sights. Come with me and enjoy this trip. We set off for the first famous building, which everyone must see, and this is none other than the British Museum. The British Museum is a public museum, dedicated to human history, art and culture located in the Bloomsbury area of London. It was the first public national museum in the world. Its permanent collection of 8 million works is among the largest, and most comprehensive in existence. It documents the story of human culture from its beginnings to the present. The Greek Revival facade facing Great Russell Street is a characteristic building of Sir Robert's Merc, with 44 columns in the Ionic order 14 meters high, closely based on those of the Temple of Athenopolis at Priene in Asia Minor. The pediment over the main entrance is decorated by sculptures by Sir Richard Westmacott, depicting the progress of civilization, consisting of 15 allegorical figures, installed in 1852. The museum was established in 1753, largely based on the collections of the Anglo-Irish physician and scientist Sir Hans Sloane. It first opened to the public in 1759, in Montague House on the site of the current building. Sloane's collection consisted of around 71,000 objects of all kinds, including some 40,000 printed books, 7,000 manuscripts, extensive natural history specimens, including 337 volumes of dried plants, prints and drawings including those by Albrecht Dürer, and antiquities from Sudan, Egypt, Greece, Rome, the ancient Near and Far East and the Americas. We continue our journey towards the St. Paul's Cathedral. If you look out the window, you can see the modern buildings of the city. There is a lot of construction going on right now. St. Paul's Cathedral is an Anglican cathedral, that is the seat of the Bishop of London. The cathedral serves as the mother church of the Diocese of London. It is on Ludgate Hill at the highest point of the City of London. The present structure, dating from the late 17th century, was designed in the English Baroque style by Sir Christopher Wren. Its construction, completed in Wren's lifetime, was part of a major rebuilding program in the city after the Great Fire of London. The earlier Gothic cathedral, largely destroyed in the Great Fire, was a central focus for medieval and early modern London. The cathedral is one of the most famous and most recognizable sights of London. Its dome, framed by the spires of Wren's city churches, has dominated the skyline for over 300 years. At 111 meters high, it was the tallest building in London, from 1710 to 1963. The dome remains among the highest in the world. St. Paul's is the second largest church building in area in the United Kingdom after Liverpool Cathedral. Services held at St. Paul's have included the funerals of Admiral Lord Nelson, the Duke of Wellington, Winston Churchill and Margaret Thatcher, Jubilee celebrations for Queen Victoria, peace services marking the end of the First and Second World Wars, the wedding of Prince Charles and Lady Diana Spencer, and the Thanksgiving services for the silver, golden, diamond, and platinum jubilees and the 80th and 90th birthdays of Queen Elizabeth II. The cathedral is a working church with hourly prayer and daily services. The tourist entry fee at the door is £21 for adults, but no charge is made to worshippers attending advertised services. As soon as we got through the big traffic chaos, we'd get to the Westminster Abbey, whose official names are Palace of Westminster, Westminster Abbey and St. Margaret's Church. Westminster Abbey, Formerly titled the Collegiate Church of St. Peter at Westminster, is a large mainly Gothic abbey church in the city of Westminster, just to the west of the Palace of Westminster. It is one of the United Kingdom's most notable religious buildings in the traditional place of coronation and a burial site for English and later British monarchs. Since the coronation of William the Conqueror in 1066, all coronations of English and British monarchs have occurred in Westminster Abbey. 16 royal weddings have occurred at the Abbey since 1100. The nave width is 26 meters, its height is 31 meters, floor area is 3,000 square meters, it has 2 towers. The tower height is 69 meters. It has 10 bells. According to a tradition first reported by Sulcard in about 1080, a church was founded at the site in the 7th century at the time of Mellitus, a bishop of London. Construction of the present church began in 1245 on the orders of King Henry III. In the 1990s, 2 icons by the Russian icon painter Sergei Fyodorov were hung in the abbey. On September 6, 1997, the funeral of Diana, Princess of Wales, was held at the abbey. On September 17, 2010, Pope Benedict XVI became the first pope to set foot in the abbey. On April 29, 2011, the wedding of Prince William and Catherine Middleton took place at the abbey. On March 10, 2021, a vaccination center opened in Poets Corner to administer doses of COVID-19 vaccines. We arrived at the next famous site, a royal residence, the Buckingham Palace. Buckingham Palace is a London royal residence, and the administrative headquarters of the monarch of the United Kingdom. Located in the city of Westminster, the palace is often at the center of state occasions and royal hospitality. Originally known as Buckingham House, the building at the core of today's palace was a large townhouse built for the Duke of Buckingham in 1703 on a site that had been in private ownership for at least 150 years. It was acquired by King George III in 1761 as a private residence for Queen Charlotte and became known as the Queen's House. During the 19th century it was enlarged, principally by architects John Nash and Edward Bellore, who constructed 3 wings around a central courtyard. Buckingham Palace became the London residence of the British monarch on the accession of Queen Victoria in 1837. The last major structural additions were made in the late 19th and early 20th centuries, including the east front, which contains the well-known balcony on which the British royal family traditionally congregates to greet crowds. A German bomb destroyed the palace chapel during the Second World War. The Queen's Gallery was built on the site and opened to the public in 1962 to exhibit works of art from the royal collection. The original early 19th century interior designs, many of which survive, include widespread use of brightly colored scagliola and blue and pink lapis, on the advice of Sir Charles Long. King Edward VII oversaw a partial redecoration in a Belle Epoque cream and gold color scheme. Many smaller reception rooms are furnished in the Chinese Regency style with furniture and fittings brought from the Royal Pavilion at Brighton and from Carlton House. The palace has 775 rooms, and the garden is the largest private garden in London. The state rooms, used for official and state entertaining, are open to the public each year for most of August and September and on some days in winter and spring. The Tower of London, officially Her Majesty's Royal Palace and Fortress of the Tower of London, is a historic castle on the north bank of the River Thames in central London. It lies within the London Borough of Tower Hamlets, which is separated from the eastern edge of the square mile of the City of London by the open space known as Tower Hill. It was founded towards the end of 1066 as part of the Norman conquest. The White Tower, which gives the entire castle its name, was built by William the Conqueror in 1078 and was a resented symbol of oppression, inflicted upon London by the new ruling elite. The castle was also used as a prison from 1100 until 1952, although that was not its primary purpose. A grand palace early in its history, it served as a royal residence. As a whole, the tower is a complex of several buildings set within two concentric rings of defensive walls and a moat. The tower has served variously as an armory, a treasury, the home of the Royal Mint, a public record office, and the home of the crown jewels of England. From the early 14th century until the reign of Charles II in the 17th century, a procession would be led from the tower to Westminster Abbey on the coronation of a monarch. In the absence of the monarch, the constable of the tower is in charge of the castle. This was a powerful and trusted position in the medieval period. In the late 15th century, the princes in the tower were housed at the castle when they mysteriously disappeared, presumed murdered. In the First and Second World Wars, the tower was again used as a prison and witnessed the executions of 12 men for espionage. After the Second World War, damage caused during the Blitz was repaired, and the castle reopened to the public. Today, the Tower of London is one of the country's most popular tourist attractions. We slowly arrive at one of London's most characteristic bridges, Tower Bridge. Tower Bridge is a Grade I listed combined bascule and suspension bridge in London, built between 1886 and 1894, designed by Horace Jones and engineered by John Wolfberry with the help of Henry Mark Brunel. It crosses the River Thames close to the Tower of London and is one of 5 London bridges owned and maintained by the Bridge House Estates, a charitable trust founded in 1282. The bridge was constructed to give better access to the East End of London, which had expanded its commercial potential in the 19th century. The bridge was opened by Edward, Prince of Wales and Alexandra, Princess of Wales in 1894. The bridge is 240 meters in length and consists of two 65 meters bridge towers connected at the upper level by 2 horizontal walkways, and a central pair of bascules that can open to allow shipping. Originally hydraulically powered, the operating mechanism was converted to an electro-hydraulic system in 1972. The bridge is part of the A100 London Inner Ring Road and thus the boundary of the London Congestion Charge Zone, and remains an important traffic route with 40,000 crossings every day. The bridge deck is freely accessible to both vehicles and pedestrians, whereas the bridge's twin towers, high-level walkways and Victorian engine rooms form part of the Tower Bridge exhibition. Tower Bridge has become a recognizable London landmark. It is sometimes confused with London Bridge, about 800 meters upstream, which has led to a persistent urban legend about an American purchasing the wrong bridge. Big Ben is the nickname for the great bell of the striking clock at the north end of the Palace of Westminster in London, and the name is frequently extended to refer also to the clock in the clock tower. The official name of the tower in which Big Ben is located was originally the Clock Tower, but it was renamed Elizabeth Tower in 2012 to mark the Diamond Jubilee of Elizabeth II. The tower was designed by Augustus Pugin in a neo-Gothic style. When completed in May 31, 1859, Its clock was the largest and most accurate four-faced striking and chiming clock in the world. The tower stands 96 meters tall, and the climb from ground level to the belfry is 334 steps. Its base is square, measuring 12 meters on each side. Dials of the clock are 6.9 meters in diameter. All four nations of the UK are represented on the tower on shields featuring the rose for England, thistle for Scotland, shamrock for Ireland, and leek for Wales. On May 31, 2009, celebrations were held to mark the tower's 150th anniversary. Big Ben is the largest of the tower's 5 bells and weighs 13.5 long tons. It was the largest bell in the United Kingdom for 23 years. The origin of the bell's nickname is open to question. It may be named after Sir Benjamin Hall, who oversaw its installation, or heavyweight boxing champion Benjamin Conant. 4 quarter bells chime at 15, 30 and 45 minutes past the hour and just before Big Ben tolls on the hour. The clock uses its original Victorian mechanism, but an electric motor can be used as a backup. The tower is a British cultural icon recognized all over the world. It is one of the most prominent symbols of the United Kingdom and parliamentary democracy, and it is often used in the establishing shot of films set in London. The clock tower has been part of a Grade I listed building since 1970 and a UNESCO World Heritage Site since 1987. Next to Big Ben is the Westminster Palace. The Palace of Westminster serves as the meeting place for both the House of Commons and the House of Lords, the two houses of the Parliament of the United Kingdom. Informally known as the Houses of Parliament, the palace lies on the north bank of the River Thames in the city of Westminster, in central London, England. It was built in 1016 in Perpendicular Gothic Revival style, and was demolished in 1834 due to fire. Its architects are Charles Barry and Augustus Pugin. Its owner is Queen Elizabeth II and Right of the Crown. Its name, which derives from the neighboring Westminster Abbey, may refer to several historic structures but most often, the Old Palace, a medieval building complex largely destroyed by fire in 1834, or its replacement, the new palace that stands today. The palace is owned by the Crown. Committees appointed by both houses manage the building and report to the Speaker of the House of Commons and to the Lord Speaker. The first royal palace constructed on the site dated from the 11th century, and Westminster became the primary residence of the kings of England until fire destroyed the royal apartments in 1512. The remainder of Westminster continued to serve as the home of the Parliament of England, which had met there since the 13th century, and also as the seat of the Royal Courts of Justice, based in and around Westminster Hall. In 1834 an even greater fire ravaged the heavily rebuilt Houses of Parliament, and the only significant medieval structures to survive were Westminster Hall, the cloisters of St. Stephen's, the Chapel of St. Mary Undercroft, and the Jewel Tower. The palace is one of the centres of political life in the United Kingdom. Westminster has become a metonym for the UK Parliament and the British government, and the Westminster system of government commemorates the name of the palace. The Elizabeth Tower, in particular, often referred to by the name of its main bell, Big Ben, has become an iconic landmark of London and of the United Kingdom in general, one of the most popular tourist attractions in the city, and an emblem of parliamentary democracy. Tsar Nicholas I of Russia called the new palace, A dream in stone. The Palace of Westminster has been a Grade I listed building since 1970 and part of a UNESCO World Heritage Site since 1987. We have reached the last popular attraction, the London Eye, which is a short walk away. The London Eye, or the Millennium Wheel, is located on the south bank of the River Thames in London. It is Europe's tallest cantilevered observation wheel and is the most popular paid tourist attraction in the United Kingdom, with over 3 million visitors annually. The structure is 135 meters tall and the wheel has a diameter of 120 meters. When it opened to the public in 2000, it was the world's tallest Ferris wheel. While riding the London Eye, you can see up to 40 kilometers on a clear day. You'll be able to spot some of the capital's most iconic landmarks and top attractions, including Big Ben, the Houses of Parliament and Buckingham Palace. The London Eye has 32 pods, each representing one of London's 32 boroughs. A leisurely rotation in one of the 32 high-tech glass pods takes approximately 30 minutes and gives you a never-changing perspective of London. The London Eye used to offer the highest public viewing point in London until it was superseded by the 245-meter-high observation deck on the 72nd floor of the Shard, which opened to the public on February 1, 2013. The special engineering achievement has become a symbol of the modern capital. I hope you enjoyed this tour. You saw a lot of sights and you learned a lot from it. Write in the comments if you have already been on a group sightseeing tour or if you plan to go.